Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Sea Morning Show right here on Say Today. Okay, so here's already preparing all this stuff. So he is Chef Arsyan. So Chef Arsyan, you are going to make something delicious for us this morning, something which is very, very special and easy for you to make, me to see.
Yeah, very easy.
There you go. Okay, so in this very special segment, which is You Masak, Chef, tell me what you are going to make this morning.
Okay, so this very special dish, we're gonna make Indonesian beef brisket with forbidden rice.
Why is it called forbidden rice?
So there's like a great history on forbidden rice.
Right.
So it's this one right here. It's like almost black and purplish in color.
Yes.
And the history in China, it was only served to emperors. That's why it's forbidden to like the mass.
To other people,
To
it's
other people.
forbidden. Right.
But now it's already cultivated everywhere. It's grown in Bali and
Right.
like local products already.
Okay.
And it's very like nutritious.
Right. So compared to the so-called, red rice here, brown rice, so this is the toughest
Similar.
one.
It's similar, but I would say in like terms of nutrients,
Right.
it's like very nutrient dense,
Right.
low sugar.
Ah.
So I think it is very healthy.
Okay, there you go. So tell us more.
Yeah, and also we're gonna cook this beef brisket.
Right.
And I already prepared some ingredients.
Yes.
So the black sauce that we're gonna be using is inspired from a bumbu madura.
Right. Okay.
Which is these spices right here.
Okay.
And it's actually dark in color because of the brown sugar and the tamarind juice.
Okay.
And it's just cooked very low and slow for like a long time.
Right.
So it caramelizes naturally.
Okay.
And then that ingredients turns to this.
That one. Okay, so there's lots of ingredients
Lots of
going on here, but again, you can screen capture it later, so tell us more.
Okay, so I guess first, we're gonna cook the brisket first.
Right.
Uh,
Is it on?
yeah.
Yes, it is. Right. A little bit of oil.
Oil.
So-
And the brisket is like already seasoned overnight.
Right.
So the spices really comes through.
So it's
to
just
the-
basically what, pepper and
just
salt?
salt and pepper.
Right.
Because we're gonna use the spice paste to braise it in.
Right. So I call the this paste here as the bumbu hitam, am I right?
Yes.
There you go. So in it goes.
So while that's searing, we're gonna wait, and then we're gonna put the bumbu hitam here.
Okay.
And when it's done braising, it's gonna naturally separate into two parts because
Right.
there's like a silver skin in the middle of the brisket. So that's why it's like thin, but this has been braised for about like 6 hours.
Wow, okay.
And it's gonna look like this.
Right. Okay, then. So my other question would be, why actually, marrying this brisket with the so-called traditional Indonesian sauce?
I think it's just like a different take on using this bumbu hitam because
Right.
it's like naturally
Yep.
used in either duck or poultry.
Right.
And I just want to see if it also works with beef.
Right.
And it does.
Okay.
So that's why.
There you go. So,
Okay, so-
what are you going to do next?
I'm going to reheat some of the broth
Right.
that was used to cook the brisket in
Okay.
with just a bit of oil.
And it goes. Oh, look at that.
Splatter a bit.
Sizzling already.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
the
put
smell,
bit of-
heaven.
Water.
A little bit of water and it goes. So it's
Okay.
not too thick.
Yep.
Right? Okay, just add it
Alright.
and just stir.
Are you a fan of spicy food?
Oh, yes. Bring
Yes?
it on.
Oh,
Bring
okay.
it on.
So, the spice paste is quite spicy.
Right.
So maybe I'm gonna use, not all of it. Maybe I'm gonna use half of it.
Half of it. Okay. The spicier it becomes, the yummier it
Oh,
will
really?
be.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I should put a bit more then.
Oh, bring it on, chef. Right. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Oh.
All right.
Okay.
So, since this one's already cooked,
Right.
essentially we're just gonna rewarm it in the sauce.
Right. So
can leave it there.
this sauce that you are making right now, chef, it reminds me of the so-called bumbu satay.
Oh, it looks
like the
a
bumbu
bit
satay, right?
brown and similar,
similar.
but there's no nuts in this one.
Right, so obviously it will taste very different.
It will taste very, very
Of
different.
course. There you go. You just put the brisket into the sauce and then let it marry together. There you go. Look at that. So we are going to actually keep on cooking it until the sauce becomes thicker.
Yeah, thicker, and then it will absorb more into the meat.
Right.
And while we do that, we can start cooking the forbidden rice.
Right.
So this one is actually already pre-cooked,
Right.
90% done.
Okay.
And I'm gonna finish it off in the pan.
Okay. So for all of you at home who are really, dying to know about the recipe, of course, we are going to be so generous to share it to you on your TV screen in a moment, okay? So don't forget to get your phone screen captured. There you go, Indonesian beef brisket with purple rice ingredients. You can see it all there. We've got beef briskets, the bumbu hitam, the forbidden rice, the cherry tomato, lemon basil, brisket broth, shallot, garlic, and also salt and sugar.
Yeah. So this is just an extra condiment. I'm gonna char some tomatoes.
Right. And it goes.
Just so that the dish is more fresh.
Right.
All right.
A mushroom.
Yep, I'm gonna add this to the rice later.
Okay, here's a tricky question, Chef. Okay, so when we buy this so-called mushroom from a store,
Yep.
Sometimes it's still dirty, right? And we need to clean it. Now, when we want to clean it, obviously we clean it with soap and water. Is that the right step of cleaning mushrooms or not?
Definitely not.
Not.
No, definitely
not. So tell us the correct way of cleaning mushrooms.
Because mushroom absorbs a lot of water,
Right.
you actually want to use almost very little. And actually, in the place where I used to work in, we just brush them with, or there's a different technique where if you want to remove the black stuff.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's just additional music. Don't worry about it.
You can actually peel just the first layer.
Look at that. Okay, so that is how
this
to
is very
clean
tedious.
mushrooms, right?
Personally, I don't do this when when I'm cooking mushroom.
Right,
But
right.
if you're in a restaurant and it's a fine dining restaurant,
Right.
we used to clean all the mushroom just so that
So
they
don't
look really
soak it,
Don't soak it,
and
just
don't
use a
clean it with
brush.
water. Just use a brush,
Yeah,
or
or
just peel the first layer of the skin, right?
Yep.
There you go. I
a
always
quick tip.
wondered, right? There you go, and just
I'm just
chop
gonna
it.
do a little bit.
Ooh, yes, mushroom. So what type of mushroom are you using right now?
This is a champignon,
Oh, champignon.
which is actually just the French word for mushroom.
Oh, okay. So what
But
type of mushroom are you using? The mushroom type.
The mushroom.
There you go.
Exactly. In French, they call this the champignon, which is just
Which
the
is
mushroom.
just a mushroom. There you go. Champignon.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Okay, so there's some tomatoes.
Right.
And then, so this is the raw black rice.
Right.
And this is the one that's
Already cooked?
Already cooked.
Yes. There you go.
I'm gonna chop some shallots and some garlic.
Shallots and garlic. Yes. There you go.
More.
And that the garlic and also the shallots will be added to the brisket there.
No, I'm gonna
No?
use it to saute the rice.
Ah, so that's why you said the forbidden rice is only 90% cooked.
Yes, because
right.
we're gonna cook it more.
Right. So you don't want to overcook your rice, or else it's gonna be too dry,
yeah.
right? Okay, there you go.
And just a tip for just to make the cooking faster.
Right.
Just if you're at home and you want to cook for the next day, but if you cook all the brisket and the rice in the same day, it's gonna be so much to cook. So all of this is you can prep a day before.
Ah,
You can
yes.
pre-cook everything, and then on the day before serving, you can just reheat it.
Right. So obviously, you guys out there can actually tell he's a pro chef. He's actually explaining something, yet cutting at the same time without actually looking.
Yeah, like I think multitasking is like one of the most important things.
Yeah, I always, tend to look what I'm cutting.
Yeah. And sometimes it's harder to talk when you're cooking.
True. Okay. So, is the biscuit almost done?
Yes, it's getting nice and thick.
Right.
And the
Look at
meat's
that.
like really falling apart.
Yes.
So,
Look at that. Right. Oh, yummy. Okay.
so this is just, I don't want it to get too brown, just a little bit brown.
Right.
Then I'm gonna heat up some of the rice.
In the rice goes. Right.
Okay, maybe not that much.
Just stir it together. Add it.
Okay. Yeah, I think like most people maybe not familiar with this rice just because we're more used to either brown rice,
Yes.
like red rice.
Yes.
And not many people have seen this purple forbidden rice.
Yeah.
That's why it's like I find it interesting, and I feel like it's just if you want to switch it up a bit and still find something that's really healthy.
Yep.
I think it's a great alternative.
It is, right? So I've seen, many times in the supermarket. So I bought this so-called purple rice, black rice or forbidden rice, and try to cook it. Well, for me, as I eat everything, so it's just still yummy for me. So I'm not complaining about the taste. The texture, yes, it's a little bit hard compared to the jasmine rice.
Yeah, it is on the harder side.
Yes.
But actually, because they take so much water,
Yep.
if you can just increase the water ratio, it actually still would be pretty soft.
Right.
Like if you can see, like maybe this one I added a bit more water than usual.
Right.
So it is a bit more like plump, I
Right.
would say.
Right.
And there's like different varieties of black rice that will actually cook just as soft as regular rice.
Right. Okay. So there you go.
I'm gonna put some
From the chef. And he is sauteing the mushroom as we speak right now.
I'm just gonna put it to one side.
Right. Again, you don't want to overcook the rice. Remember that, or else it's going to be too dry. Saute.
And then I'm also gonna put a little bit of the liquid from the
brisket. Right.
And it's like chunky like this because there was onions, tomatoes used to cook the brisket. That's why it's like a bit chunky like this.
Got lots of ingredients.
Just a little bit.
Yep. There you go. So is this one of your, what shall I call it, star menu?
Would I say star? It's definitely really good, but I don't think I would call it a star just because I feel like this is just a very interesting combo. That's why I like it.
So here you are in front of a television. We're broadcasting live, and you're not giving us the star menu. What?
Oh, but this is still really, really good.
So obviously there's more to come. So I think we should
definitely
ask you to come back and give us more star menus in the future, right?
Definitely.
Okay. So what
I'm
is
gonna
that?
add some basil.
Basil.
Last minute, so when it's like already cooked.
Right.
Last minute basil, and you can turn off the heat so it doesn't wilt that much.
Right. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. I like the combo color.
The green really makes it like really pop.
Yeah. Beautiful. There you go.
And since you like spicy food, I'm gonna put a little bit more of the Madura paste into the rice itself.
And add to the purple or black rice. So actually this purple, or some may call it black rice, has a similar number of calories to white or brown rice, but it contains more protein, iron, and also antioxidants. So as Chef just mentioned, it is better compared to the so-called brown rice or red rice here, we say in Indonesia. So it's okay. It's always an alternative for you if you want to, go to a healthier lifestyle. Just switch from jasmine rice
to make your healthy lifestyle not that boring. Keep it interesting. Healthy food can still be good.
I always like healthy food. I don't really care what I eat. As long as somebody makes it for me, I can just eat it. So you're hired, Chef.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, sorry, are we done?
Yeah, I think it's time to plate.
Okay, plating time.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure. Oh, the brisket is like really falling apart, even
look
just with
at
a spoon.
that. It looks so tender.
Super tender.
So soft. Yes, look at that.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, the trick to cooking brisket is really to cook it low and slow.
Right.
Because if you cook it too fast, it'll get really tough.
Right. So I'm looking like, it's as if I'm looking at rendang right now.
I guess pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah.
But as you can see later with the taste, it would taste completely different.
Different. Okay. So plating time, ladies and gentlemen. So if I may, I'll just help you that. There you go.
Okay, so maybe I'm gonna put the rice first.
Now, plating time. This is one of the crucial moments, right?
Yep.
As you are going to serve it, this is a special moment. You might want to do it right.
You eat with your eyes first,
of
right?
Of course.
And the smell, I think, is really already coming through.
Woo! There you go.
I'm gonna serve just a very generous portion here.
Of course. That's why you're hired. Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna put just the beef brisket on top.
Moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, if I were to serve this in
oh, look at that layering technique. Oh, yes.
Just make sure it all stays in the middle. Pour a bit of more sauce on it.
Oh, look at that.
And just to keep it a bit healthy, we use the tomatoes.
Right.
Just for some color. And maybe we can finish off with a bit more basil.
Right. To give more color to the plating itself. Look at that.
And I have this super pretty.
Look
so
at that.
This is the flower from the basil.
Right.
It's like super nice and it's like really edible. But it's only on the tip of the stem.
Right.
So you don't get that much of it, but like I feel like this is very, very pretty.
So he's going to use a
edible flower.
Edible flower from the basil, right? So it's what? Basil flower?
Basil flower, yeah.
Basil flower.
Basil flower. I'm
Look
just gonna
at
sprinkle
that.
it around.
Oh yes. Oh, I can so smell the basil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's very basil.
From the flower. Look at that. The white stuff there. There you go.
And I tried eating one by itself. It tastes like really strong
Right.
and very much like basil. So like it's interesting that the flower itself tastes like basil.
I never knew it was apple. Okay.
We have so much like a variety of edible flour.
Yes, look at that. So are we done with the plating?
Yes.
There you go, chef. You might want to take the plate because I'm going to take the spoon. I'm just gonna,
Okay.
So there we have it. We've got the beef brisket
with forbidden rice.
With the forbidden rice. Look at that, very beautiful. And of course, since he is a very professional chef, there's step by step of making it. So you might want to try to prepare it a day before, as chef just mentioned, so you can get the best result. And because I just stood here and actually being very helpful doing nothing, so I'm going to try to eat it right now. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of that.
Okay.
A little bit of the brisket here, and I want the forbidden rice and also the flour itself. I'm going to try it, okay?
How is it? Tell me your honest feedback.
1 to 10, 11.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is good.
Wow.
Oh dear God, this is good. This is good. Ladies and gentlemen, spicy, good. It is spicy since I like spicy very much. The taste is very superb. This is so expensive. I can say it's so expensive. It's so rich. The flavors, you've got lots of going on here. Again, If you don't really like cooking, if you want to try to do this, I think your family will be very proud of you, okay?
Yeah.
So again, thank you so very much, Chef. And we will take a break. So when we return, we'll have a recap of our news from our previous segment. Stay with us. One another bite.